Hello and welcome to this week's Bourne Property Show with myself, Lewis Thorogood, Sales Manager here at the Hill and Clark Bourne office, joined by my able assistant, as ever, Mike Hollenby, Operations Manager. Afternoon, how are you doing?
Very well indeed. I always love that entrance, that introduction that you always give me each week, Lewis. It makes me feel very important. Well done, mate.
That's the idea.
Very much appreciated. Yes, we're back again. Another broadcast. Can you believe it's been another week, Lewis?
I know, flying through. We're into unbelievably 6 months worth of Bourne Property shows.
Which is fantastic.
It is. And people are still watching, still getting over 2,000 views a week, which is absolutely brilliant.
Interestingly, we've been building a YouTube channel, which you can head over to see all of those past episodes. And when we were looking back only this week on some of the first broadcasts that we had, it's looking very different to how it is doing now. We've got some really exciting plans coming up over the next few weeks, so make sure you stay tuned to find out what's coming over the next few weeks. More importantly though, let's have a look and see what's happening in tonight's show. Coming up today, we have our hot topic, where you've been out in Morton today.
Yeah.
And you're bringing us the Rightmove Price Index report. We also have our usual Why I Love Bourne feature. We've got some agents' advice today, in regards to how many babies are being born for each new build property that's being built. And then we've also got one of our Facebook questions that have come in from one of our viewers in regards to why does it take so long for a house sale to go through. I'm going to refer back to our special guest that we had last week with Nazia from AV show this evening. So shall we start off, Lewis, with our hot topic?
Yes, I was out and about, as Mike said, this week in the village of Morton. We've had quite a bit of success there, so we've been out doing a few videos of our success stories, and I reported the May statistics and the information from Rightmove on the latest price index, looking at the national and regional trends.
Fantastic, let's have a look at that next.
You join me here in the village of Morton, just slightly north of Bourne, an area which we've reported quite a bit of success on recently in terms of agreeing house sales, and it's a great opportunity for me to review the latest Rightmove house price index for the month of May. The good news is that house prices nationally continue to rise by 0.8%, which is the highest it's been year on year, going up just shy of £2,500 again this month, which is great news. But a really interesting statistic is that sales agreed are slightly down 5% year on year against 2017. Rightmove reports that seven of the 11 regions covered have the highest ever asking prices year on year. With our area, the East Midlands and more importantly Lincolnshire and the Bourne area, being one of the highest increases, going up by over 4% year on year. And that really does reflect indeed on some of the house prices here in the village of Morton. As mentioned in some of the previous videos that I've done, for example, properties which we've agreed on the modern developments in Morton, the likes of Waterloo Drives and Paddington Ways and Moorgate Closes, in comparison to prices this time last year, they've gone up on average around about £10,000 to £15,000 on their current achieved sale prices. So that really does support the information that Rightmove have been reported in the latest house price index. But a really interesting situation with the number of sales agreed by estate agents to the Rightmove report being down 5.4% on this time last year. If we look a little bit closer to home and we look at some of the statistics that have come through, the average house price in this area comes in just over 220,000. That's a monthly change and increase of 0.9% and an annual change and improvement of 4.6%. So a really affluent area to be looking to buy property at the moment, and certainly an area that if you're looking to sell in terms of getting the best possible price, a really good time to look to cash in and get the best price for your home. The average time an agreed house sale in this area is being agreed in is now 54 days on average, which again is the quickest in any of the 11 regions reported nationwide. So again, a real positive sign that this area, Bourne and the surrounding villages, and indeed if we open it up to the Lincolnshire and indeed East Midlands region, is one of the real up and coming places to be, both for commerce and industry, transport links, but more importantly, and especially around this area, the quality of the schooling of primary schools and secondary schools in the villages and the town of Bourne, all rated excellent or outstanding by Ofsted, and indeed it's really worth going online and checking those reports to see the quality of the schools that are on offer. A real good area for families, and as you can see behind me, a beautiful village with lots of character, but there's a really good mix of modern property as well. If you're looking to have a look to see how much your home is worth in what is quite clearly an improving market still with the house prices going into the summer period, please give us a call at the Hill & Clark Bourne office on 01778 3000069. You can drop us an email, bournesales@hillclark.co.uk. Pop in and come and see us at the office as well, or even go onto our website, hillandclark.co.uk, where you can start your journey and getting a price for your home by getting an instant 60-second valuation, which is accessible via our website. But the news and the overview is that house prices continue to increase, both on a nationwide level, more regionalised and localised. This area is the highest improvement with the quickest sales and transactions in the current marketplace, and we without doubt are able to help you on your journey if you're looking to sell your home, on how we can get your property sold quickly, efficiently and at the best possible price in the current market.
Yeah, so great feature, thank you very much indeed, Lewis. Some really informative detail in there as well. It looks like a nice bright sunny day out in North.
Was indeed.
Today. So let's go straight away next to our Isle of Bourne.
Okay, I'm with Heidi here from Three Counties Dog Rescue, which is on North Road in Bourne. Heidi, obviously you're the manager here, you've been here a little while. What do you love about working and living in the Bourne area?
Well, I actually come from Peterborough. I moved here 14 years ago, and Bourne's such a safe place compared to Peterborough. The customers that I have in the shop are fantastic, the people are lovely, genuine. It's a lovely area to live, very safe. The schools here are very good. And all the shops and all the managers around here are lovely and friendly. We all get on. It's like a big community. It's lovely. Nice place to live.
Brilliant.
Recommend it to anybody.
That's great.
I wouldn't go back to Peterborough.
Brilliant, fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so on to our next feature, and it's this week's agent's advice. And Mike, you've been looking at quite an interesting article this week, which kind of relates to one of our very early episodes, where we actually brought to you that the government were pledging 300,000 new homes to the market, especially local to this area as well, in this region, to meet with the demand. And you've been looking at an article in terms of how many babies there are being born in comparison to new homes becoming available, and I think there's some quite interesting information there.
There is, yes. So if we were to ask obviously our viewers the question, how many babies do you think are being born for every house built, I've got some figures here that might sort of surprise you really. According to the figures which were released last week, there was 1,368 births, but only 340 houses being built. Okay, so that was in the latest set of figures that were released last week.
And how does that kind of compare to maybe a couple of years ago, or the last couple of years? Where does it kind of sit in terms of its increases?
Well, it's a good question. If we look at 2014, the amount of births there was 1,480, so similar amount of births, but at that time there was 650 homes being built, which was almost double the amount that was built last year. So as you can see, similar amount of births, that's remaining reasonably constant and consistent over the last 3 or 4 years, but the amount of homes being built is nearly halved.
So obviously that doesn't stack up for the demand and the supply and demand element to it there. So what do you think needs to be done to kind of overcome that problem? What has the report said? What has anybody come forward and given any kind of plans, suggestions, or future kind of ideas?
I think it's a very, very straightforward answer at the end of this, Lewis. We're going to need to be more than doubling the amount of houses that we've already pledged to build. We were down at a conference only 2 years ago when the housing minister was saying at the time, again, like you said earlier, about the amount of houses that need to be built by 2020. The government are way off that sort of target already, with another 24 months to go, and we can already see that going forward the problem's only going to get worse. So if we sort of plan even over the next few years, as I say, with the average age of sort of home buyers increasing all the time and the age is getting to 35, 36, it's going to put an even bigger pressure on the housing market in the next 5 to 10 years. But I think one of the big issues that we're not really addressing really at the minute, that the government is very focused over the next sort of 2 years, but our concern is obviously what's going to happen in the next 15 to 20 years, because we can already see that we're not meeting demand now. In 15, 20 years time, the problem is probably going to get even worse.
And as we were discussing when we were out and about today around the town, speaking to people, we talked about the developers in Bourne, and there were some major developers there. Barratt Homes, Kia, David Wilson, Taylor Wimpey, and Larkfield in particular. We were both saying that they have no properties available at the minute. They've sold everything that they've got available, be it off plan or released plots.
Yep.
And there's kind of a demand, but there's no supply probably now until autumn time.
That's right.
Now that's just a short-term snapshot just of Bourne. We know how Elsia Park's filling up, and indeed the kind of infill along the bypass, linking up the two developments up to West Road. So even in an area like Bourne, which is rapidly growing with a new primary school as well that's coming on Elsia Park, the community primary school there, that just kind of emphasises, supports your statistics.
Yeah, and again, interesting, talking about that demand and supply, Lewis. Again, I've got some friends that we know of that are relocating, and they looked at modern development recently, picked out a particular plot and identified that that's what they wanted, and so we need to go on the waiting list for that because it's not ready yet. The footings aren't even in yet, and the site neg took the details down and added to a list of 10 other people registered on that plot. And when a couple of inquiries were made on that, there were 2 people who'd already sold their property, gone into rented, and were in a cash position to buy that property, and that they were on that list of 10 with 2 people already in position to proceed. So that's happening not just locally, but right across the country as well. That there is really going to be this huge problem in the future with a massive shortage of property supply.
And again, that also supports the lack of rental property. Even if you look at the kind of snapshot, which is Bourne, of course, the turn of rental property is so quick at the moment, and especially those family homes, the 3 and 4 bedroom properties. Very rarely can you probably get too much to the market at the moment in the rental market without it going on a waiting list of people. So a really interesting article which supports what summarises as a lack of new builds, a lack of new homes still coming to the marketplace, and the demand is there for it, and indeed short term people getting themselves into a position that they can be ready to buy.
Yeah, most definitely an interesting report. We'll keep you up to date obviously as and when we get any more information about any new developments that are coming into the area. Again, we announced one a few weeks ago with planning consent that was being sought locally as well. So again, we'll keep you up to date with all of the latest news and views there, as we always do. What we are going to go back to now, though, is one of the questions that was put to us a few weeks ago on Facebook that came over to us. And one of the questions was that they were going through a sale at the time, and they were just asking the question, why on earth does it take so long for the actual conveyancing process once they've actually found a buyer? Why does it take so long? So we had some special guests with us last week. Nazia and Carly were with us from AV Rillo. If you watched last week's broadcast, you'll have seen the little interview that we had with them. But we later asked Nazia if she could give us just 3 reasons why they are different to the other sort of conveyancers and solicitors, and what makes them different on why they get their sales through in only 8 weeks. So let's have a little look at that video next. So everybody, I'm with Nazia from AV Rillo, and Nazia is going to give us the 3 top things, the power of 3 that they used, which makes a difference with them over all the other conveyancers and solicitors. So point number 1 is?
Certainty. So Michael, 91% of our clients complete successfully. This is in comparison to 63% as the national average.
Fantastic. So point number 2?
Point number 2 is speed. The national average to get to completion is currently 3 to 4 months. So we're talking 16 weeks basically, very long time. We get to completion in 8 to 9 weeks.
Fantastic. And number 3?
Number 3 is collaboration. So the way we work is collaborative. We want to work with everybody in the chain. We want to work with the estate agents and we want to work with our clients. We pick up the phone and we tell you what's going on in the file and give you all the updates.
Fantastic, great. So that's your Power of 3 from Nasia AV Relo. If you're wanting any more information, make sure you get in contact with the details underneath. Thank you very much.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that was again really informative and some real information there to take away, bite-sized information for people to take away and certainly consider. Indeed, if you want any further information on that, or indeed anything that we've discussed in the programme this week, please contact us via the usual channels. Obviously, comment below. Any questions, we're happy to obviously take those, research them where we need to, and come back to you with the answers hopefully next week's broadcast. We also want to see you liking this, sharing this as well, to get all this information and this programme out to as many people as possible. That's why we do it, to give you, the people of Bourne and the villages, as much information about the housing market as possible. Of course, the usual channels, you can pop into our office here in North Street, drop us an email. We'll be happy to obviously have a chat with you and help you and answer any questions that you may have. Another good show, Mike. Thank you very much for your content and the information you've provided. We'll be back next week with our usual features again, our hot topic, our agent's advice, the why I love Bourne, and lots of information as well. Might be bringing you something a little bit World Cup themed next week as well, as it's the start of the World Cup, so unfortunately you can't get away from anything football themed from this time next week, and we will look forward to seeing you next week.
Fantastic. Just one final point, if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, you'll see down in the corner there you've got our subscribe button. Hit onto that, and again any future broadcasts will automatically be sent out to you. Fantastic. Look forward to talking to you again next week. Thank you.
Goodbye.